Hi, thanks for joining us today. Hey, I'm in the shop today because I want to talk a little bit about the new Trijicon RMR, or the RMR Type 2. These have been around quite a while. The idea of having a red dot on a handgun is by no means a new idea. Competition circles have been around forever, and they're becoming more and more applicable to defensive handguns. I really like shooting with a red dot. They're fast, they allow me to acquire my target very easily. I don't have to worry about trying to line my front and rear sights. And I'll be honest with you, my eyes aren't 21 years old anymore. So that red dot allows me to get up and into the fight very, very quickly. The challenges we face, however, especially with the RMR, was some feedback I'd gotten from students over time and had from peers and friends that teach as well, that people were having some issues with them. They would flicker and things like this. So I had the luxury recently of visiting with some folks from Trijicon at a media event up in Utah. And what I took away from that was that the RMR was originally never really intended for handguns. The sharp cycling of the slide can cause some issues with connectivity. Not across the board, because I have a lot of friends that have the RMR, or the Type 1 as we'll call it now, and never had any issues whatsoever. But it was a thread that began to grow. And what they've done with this is they've adjusted that. They've fixed that. Primarily it was contact issues. I'm not going to get into diagnosing why and what, but if it wasn't set on there just right, you might have some flickers, some contact issues with the battery. So what Trijicon has done is dealt with that. They've made it more stable. Contacts are rock solid. There's a couple other things that they've done with this optic as well. This version is adjustable LED. They've made the adjustments on it much more stable, and that is something that I personally noticed, and honestly was one of my biggest criticisms of a red dot on a defensive handgun, and that was its inability to hold zero. I didn't want to have to worry about my gun shifting zero, coming off the range, and then hitting back out as my defensive carry. They've solved that. While I won't say that I've got a trillion rounds under this gun, I do have about 1,500 rounds on this optic, and it has not shifted at all. There's been times in the past, different companies I've tried, even after a 2 or 4 day class, I find that the optic had shifted. That is not the case with this. I really think they've solved that. RMRs for a defensive handgun, I'm becoming a pretty big fan. Obviously I'm an old guy. I have my beliefs about iron sights, but I'm also quick to look to the future. And I think that the RMR and red dots in general are the future for defensive handguns. As I said, especially for somebody like me, it is dramatically faster for me to get this gun up and into the fight and onto my target than it is with sights. And I've been shooting a while, so that's a good measure. Overall, I'm a big fan. And I will be adapting my personal defense weapon, my personal gun, my carry gun, for an RMR. That's how big of a believer I am into it. So, hope this is helpful. So until you see in class, you see in the range, stay safe and stay in the fight.